Now, I was going to do a video on this last night when this trailer actually dropped, but I decided against it because I hadn't properly baked my thoughts. Well, now my thoughts are a bit more in one place, and I can actually tell you what I think about the Assassin's Creed Odyssey Fate of Atlantis trailer. I think it is fair to say that after Legacy of the First Blade I have zero expectations for this expansion, but that being said, this looks nothing like the Legacy of the First Blade expansion. This looks like its own thing, and I will treat it as such. It does definitely appear to be a much larger scale expansion as well, which makes me think that the quality could be much higher, and will of course have an Isu focus, and considering the setup quest included modern day, I'd imagine there will be a modern day focus as well, which will be the first time an Assassin's Creed DLC has ever had anything to do with the modern day, which would be cool provided they execute it properly, which is something that Assassin's Creed Odyssey has struggled with above all else. It's executing its ideas, as not every idea that Odyssey has had so far has been inherently bad, it's just not been executed in an optimal way, which in my opinion is one of the major flaws with the Legacy expansion, which seemed like a bare minimum job. This does seem like the opposite of that, to be fair, as this is an entirely new area that isn't in the base game, which means there'll be a lot going on that we haven't seen before, there'll be plenty of side quests, and all in all I'd imagine it will be done to a much larger scale than the Legacy of the First Blade expansion. And like I said, considering the seeming modern day involvement thanks to that setup quest and the Isu focus, I'd imagine that this DLC is much more significant with regards to Assassin's Creed lore, which in my opinion means it'll be more important for this to not be botched, which is where my optimism kind of ends with this one. At the same time, there's a chance here to do more significant and meaningful stuff, so hopefully this is a more fun expansion than the last one. One thing I did notice listening to the audio in the trailer is the voices. The voice acting in this expansion could actually be better than the voice acting in the base game and the DLC that came before it. If even only marginally, it could make for a major improvement in the experience, as the voice acting is one of the things in Odyssey that really breaks it down. Because, no offense to anyone who's actually done any of the voice work to this game, it's bad. So fingers crossed this expansion at least adjusts that a little bit. Another thing I noticed in the trailer is it seems to emphasise Cassandra as the protagonist and playable character. So I have a question. Alexios' appearance here, is this as the playable character or is it as Deimos? As we know, Deimos had a part in the setup quest, so I wouldn't imagine they'd just forget about that. So I'm curious as to what that has to do with it. I mean, looking at it overall, it does look like Assassin's Creed Odyssey's version of the Curse of the Pharaohs expansion that Origins got. As I'd imagine there's an emphasis on boss fights, as here you can see a boss fight with Cerberus, which sounds like great fun, except I never really got into Assassin's Creed for the boss fights, but now that it has them, what can you do? I also wonder what this guy's problem is. He shows up a couple times and he seems kind of villainous in character. He also sounds like the kind of guy who can do his ABCs while burping.
I know what you've done, and I'd say you owe me.
So is this like the main antagonist, or is he an antagonist? Because he does strike me as that kind of sort. Anyways, like I said, I can imagine this entire expansion being delivered to a higher overall quality than Legacy of the First Blade, as it will be set in a new area, everything will be fresh, there'll be more side quests to inhabit this area, hopefully. Hopefully the voice acting will be improved, there'll be some modern day stuff by the looks of it, there'll be definite Isu stuff going on, as that's what's going on in the trailer, and I'd imagine there'll be new gear and loot and things to find throughout this area exclusively, and who knows, it could actually be fun. But regardless of what's going on, I just want to know why Cassandra spent 2,500 years in a fucking cave. So hopefully they explain that, and more importantly, hopefully they explain it well. So yeah, like I said, as long as they deliver on all the points up until now, I'll be okay with it. My biggest concern with this at the moment is it does seem a bit similar to the Curse of the Pharaohs expansion for Origins, what with the Greek spin. Obviously it can be vastly different and probably will be in an ideal scenario, but I do know just by glancing at it that that will be the DLC to compare it to. And that is arguably the best DLC ever and a really, really good DLC overall. So that is a high bar to surpass, so fingers crossed it does something well there. But like I said, in light of Legacy of the First Blade, I'm going to keep my expectations very low. The trailer itself does the DLC enough justice for me to want to get sunk in and see what it's all about, and obviously I will be live streaming the episodes as they come out. So for those of you who wanted me to make a video on this trailer, there you go. This trailer exists. It doesn't actually make the DLC look bad, so hopefully the DLC can deliver. But anyways, please do let me know what you think. Dennis, thank you so much for that input. So yeah, please do let me know what you think down in the comments section. Thank you all for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, share the channel with your friends and all that wonderful stuff. I would really appreciate it. And I'll see you all very soon with another video at some point.